everything 10 times harder. Everything becomes problematic.
Local businesses are frustrated with the ongoing issues at the Sewerage and Water Board that led to the boil water advisory over the weekend. Good evening, I'm Karen Swenson.
And I'm Natalie Shepard. The latest boil water advisory to hit New Orleans came 3 days after the Sewerage and Water Board announced that a new water tower would help prevent a loss in water pressure.
Well, the water tower worked to keep pressure high for 23 minutes, but it took 31 minutes to fix the broken pumps at the Claiborne Water Pumping Station on Saturday. And as a result, the city issued a boil water advisory that lasted 27 hours this weekend.
I'm committed today to tell you exactly what went down, whether it was insufficient training, whether it was just the fact that something was tripped because of the rerouting of the power. The cause remains unknown.
The Sewerage and Water Board Executive Director Ghassan Korban said it could have been operator error that kept the pumps from starting back up in time. This weekend's failure highlights 3 of the areas plagued with problems that we discovered in our down-the-drain investigations: pumps, power, and manpower. But the drop in pressure also exposed a new weakness in the system: cold weather. Investigative reporter Katie Moore explains.
So we'll call the Sewerage and Water Board.
You could say Sewerage and Water Board leaders jinxed it.
It's difficult to imagine we won't be able to recover before that tower runs out of water, for lack of a better terminology in regard to that. It's possible. Please understand that it is possible.
Possible and early Saturday probable, when officials say Entergy power was knocked out to some of the pumps that keep water pressure up in the pipes when water usage drops.
It sounds like there are some redundancies that are built in, but we want to make sure all the necessary redundancies are built in.
As was the problem with drainage pumps during 2 floods last year, powering the drinking water pumps is tricky. The board depends on Turbine 6, their newest power generator, to help run the drinking water pumps. It was built and brought online by the Corps of Engineers in 2014 to back up the drainage pumps during the rainy season. But that's not the only thing the board uses it for. 5 days ago, when temperatures barely climbed out of the 40s, Ghassan Korban told the board of directors Turbine 6 was available for use. Well, today he exposed its Achilles heel: cold temperatures.
Turbine 6 was not being utilized. It had been brought down about a week ago, and there's a situation associated with Turbine 6 being limited in terms of temperature. It cannot operate at a temperature of 45 degrees or lower.
You want to make sure that whether it's too hot or too cold, that we have power and power supply in all circumstances. And so what needs to be done is hardening across the system.
Korban says modifications needed to run the turbine at cold temperatures were denied by the Corps whenever it was built. Modifications he now says the agency will add to its long list of projects waiting to be completed. Katie Moore, Eyewitness News.
Another one of those backup power projects has already been delayed. Korban said today the dedicated substation for more reliable Entergy power at the water plant has been pushed to early next year, but he said it is still considered, quote, imminent. Now, going back to 2010, there have been 8 boil orders impacting the entire East Bank of New Orleans. Now, there have been a lot more of those smaller boil orders specific to certain neighborhoods, but these are for the entire East Bank. At least 5 of those boil advisories are blamed on a loss of pressure because of power issues.
And the